What's up, people? It is 10 o'clock, and we've been going all day today. We had our Elite 8 call in the morning time with some studs. Nick and Caitlin about to hit marketing director. It's happening. Get out of here. Got recruited. St. Louis through Natasha Blair, who Natasha unofficially hit all the numbers. Natasha Blair that we sat down with, and you'd see her at fast start schools and she would be saying, hey, I'm gonna do it. Watch me do it. Watch what I'm gonna do. Watch, right? And you know it's crazy because some people go kill it fast. Some people, they're killing it and life happens, things happen, challenges, whatever. And then most people quit. And at that point, when you choose to reinvent yourself, when you choose to have this concept called willpower, when you go and you get mentorship from your mentors, Fred and Chrissy Terrace, tell me the first to 100 out of all MDs, they said that and they're backing it up right now. And they said that's happening this month. And you go get mentorship and you become coachable and teachable to people. You recreate yourself, make some big decisions in life, some scary decisions in life. And she goes out there, unofficially hits MD, does the other 50% independent, right? With support. But I mean, independent outside of that, goes and makes that happen. Respect. Now Nick and Caitlin running this week. And who else did we have on the call today? We had, I'm going to forget now. My mind is everywhere. We had Jazz. We had a Don. We had a Naya and Joanna. And we had an awesome call. That was at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, we get on an SVP call with Patrick. And we start talking about what's going on with changes and things like that. It's so crazy how important it is to be united right now. If you're not plugging in with winners and leaders and you're not around those people and you're not talking to them and you're kind of on an island, that's by choice. You're choosing to do that. When I get on a call with all the SVPs and I hear everything that's happening, man, that jacks me up because it makes me want to go create, makes me want to keep doing it, makes me want to keep going. I get off that call. We have a call with Sonique Stud, Sonique Saturday. She's such a freaking stud, that girl. We delivered a policy last week. And we do humor, funny video. We do this policy. I'm like, I got this stuff. She's like, you got this stuff, right? Look, it's a drug deal. And I bust out, I got it. Open my trunk. I'm like, got your life insurance. And she gets on there and she's like, life insurance. Y'all coughing and sneezing. Y'all need to get a policy, right? Does her whole funny thing that she does. And somebody sees the video and they see the message and they start following. And I get a message while I'm trying to pick up some groceries here. I get a message. I get on a call. We do an RI. We recruit the girl. I call her. I said, Sonique, you need to talk to Deanna. Deanna's such a stud too. Studs attract studs. Studettes attract studettes. And so we get on this call. Deanna's like, I'm ready to change my life. I explain the business. She's like, I'm in. I want to do something more. I want to better my life. She's out of Maryland, right? When we talk about 50 states wide, 500 offices deep, she's going to be opening up Maryland and blowing it up out there. And so I call Sonique. I said, Sonique, you got a new business partner. Her name is Deanna. You got to get her in the system. She's like, what? I said, just call her. She says, who? I don't know her. I don't know. What do you want me to do? I'm like, just call her, get her in the system. She saw our post on social media. She called me. We did an all right. She's ready to go. So Sonique calls her, gets in the system. I said, Sonique, when's the fast start? She's like, I don't know. When is fast start school? I said, no, the fast start appointment. I said, Sonique, have you seen fast start on PHP Education? She's like, no. Next day, Sonique goes the same day. She watches every single video on PHP Education. Student of the business, man. That's why she's an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are great students. They're not waiting to be taught. They go out there and they just need resources. So we do the fast start. She's in fast start school with Cindy. Ends up, so I do the fast start because she's in fast start school with Cindy. And Deanna, I'm like, Deanna, this business is so simple. We just have to talk to people about what we do. I said, listen, everybody's home right now. Call a friend and be like, dude, and if you call a friend and you're like, hi, my name is Deanna. I'm your friend. Book an appointment with me. They're going to think you're nuts. Just call them and tell them, hey, are you home? You got 15, 20 minutes? We can jump on a call. I want to show you what I'm doing. I need some training and it's a training appointment. I need 15 minutes of your time. Yeah, no problem. We get on, we do a field train. She says, I learned more in 30 minutes than I've learned my whole life. So she keeps booking appointments, right? Fast start, fast results, gets in licensing. She's doing that. We're booking her appointments. So we do another appointment for her today with Sonique. And I tell Sonique, let's have you do the appointment, right? Zoom, you could learn everything. You're watching everything being done. And so Sonique's learning how to illustrate. She learned how to illustrate today, how to log on to a carrier, how to explain the policy, how to explain an illustration to client today. We do a policy, right? Deanna's brand new. She's literally been in the business for a few days, you guys. She's like, this is so fast. She's learned how to do a policy, explain a policy. She's in her licensing class. She's like, I love this. I love the fact I'm helping people. So we do that. I get off, right? I'm calling some of our old agents. One of the girls says, I'm not interested in being an agent right now at all. And I asked her a question. I said, listen, I was told that the young version of you has to take care of the old version of you. Are you doing a good job of taking care of the old you? Because the old you is counting on you today. Or do you think you could do better? She says, I could do better, George. So I said, well, let's book an appointment. So we book an appointment today. We're going through it all, right? So she's not going to be an agent, but she's going to be a client. Calling filters right now, right? Calling old agents right now. If you're not calling all your old agents, right? So I call, we do the appointment, 2.5 hour call. She becomes a client. We do a policy for her daughter. We build a great friendship, awesome friendship, great girl. And I get off the phone. As soon as I'm done with that, I jump on another Zoom with Deanna. We're doing her financial review. She's actually seen a field training and a close in the field before she even had her own policy, because we're doing her fast start. And the whole purpose of fast start is 3 field trainings as fast as possible. Field in 48, field trainings in 48 hours. We got to get you in the field in 24 to 48 hours. You got to get fast started 24 to 48 hours after getting in the system. And you got to get 3 field trainings done within 24 to 48 to 72 hours after becoming an agent. So she becomes a client. Then I get on a call with Diana Rodas, and we talk about days that some days you will, plant, and some days you'll harvest, right? She's like, I'm frustrated because I want to get results. And I said, well, what'd you do today? She says, I did this many appointments, I did this many calls. I said, have you ever seen Boiler Room? And if you haven't seen Boiler Room, I don't suggest it from a place of efficacy, like let's go steal people's money. But literally their stock and that mentality of busting, being on the phone, going. And we were talking to Pat today. Pat's like, when I became a stockbroker, we sold everything over the phone. There wasn't, let's meet in person. It's buy stock. What's your account number? I'm going to put you on with my assistant. How many stocks, how many shares you want to buy? How much you want to invest today? Everything's over the phone. So you have to learn that mindset, that mentality right now. If you haven't watched Tom Hopkins on, let's see here, Tom Hopkins, give me one second. It's Tom Hopkins Financial Services. If you haven't watched that, it's like how to sell financial services, Tom Hopkins. But if you haven't watched Boiler Room, maybe you should watch that movie tonight. Maybe you should watch that mentality of how do I become a hustler? She's like, well, how do I help my guys? I said, you got to go make 200 to 300 calls a day. That's what you got to go do. You got to reach out to people. You got to play offense. I said, who's doing that on your team? She's like, well, these guys are good people, man. They want it. I'm like, how many of them are doing that many contacts? They're just not. She's like, I heard Kyle the other day. He's actually awesome on the phone. And so is Steve. And so are the. They're so good, but they're not getting the result. I said, well, they got to talk to me. You're like, that's it. She's like, they got to talk. And they got to talk to more people. And I said, Diana, I said, willpower, and this was something we talked about with Pat today. He says, willpower is the reason that all of our SVPs are mentally tough, because there was no excuses with Patrick, like zero. Like, what do you mean it didn't get done? Why didn't it get done? Why didn't you figure it out? Why didn't you call the guy? Why didn't you make more calls? Why didn't you plan ahead? Why didn't you know? You knew this was coming 6 months ago. Why didn't you strategize back then? Like, no matter what, there wasn't an excuse. It was get it done. There was a no excuse mentality. It was willpower. It was, what do you mean it's late? What do you mean you're tired? What do you mean it's a weekend? What do you mean it's a Sunday? What do you mean it's a this? No excuses. Every meeting, every call, every appointment, show up, let's get it done. Why? No excuse mentality, military mentality, right? Soldier mentality. And he bred that into us as SVPs. That's why we're freaking doing this nonstop right now. That's why the company's strong right now. That's why the company that you're with right now is actually very, very strong. And you should be grateful to the leadership at the top, all the MDs in Unity that are performing, all the leaders that are performing, all the SVPs, all the chairmen, all the boards council, the CEO of the company, home office, all because we have mentally tough, where you know that this company is going to change your life. But what if the leadership team wasn't mentally tough right now? What would be happening to you in your future? What if the company closed down right now? What if we just said we're going to close down? Some of you guys are closing down and you're the company, you're the leader for your team, and your team's dying, and you're going to come back to find out that now you got to rebuild all that momentum because you chose to not play offense. You chose to not work, to not follow up. And I said, Diana, this thing is all about will. It's not, there's no guarantee, but the willpower, the what if, that dream of this is going to happen, that dream of I'm going to make $1 million, that dream I'm going to be financially independent, that dream I will do anything for that dream because my family and me are counting on it. But that's willpower, the will to make calls, the will to follow up, the will to work, the will to show up, the will to go all day from 8 o'clock till 10:30. I just got off an hour Zoom meeting for Bruno Mars. Bruno Castillo, right? And then we're talking strategy and what's going on because he's asking for support. He's asking for coaching. And when you're a coach, man, you got to show up to your people. He's not even in my base shop. He's under Mike and Araceli. He's asking for coaching, right? And as a leader, you got to be that example for people. I can't do it for everybody, but I'll do it for the studs. I'll do it for the performers, the guys that go over and above. And I've seen him in the office every day this week. And I've seen him getting directs. And I've seen him go in the field. And I've seen him write business. And he's texting me, another 2 directs, another 2 policies, another 2 this, another 2 that, right? So I'm like, of course I'm going to take a call at 9 o'clock and go an hour with this guy. Of course, because he's asking me, can we do a meeting for my team? Can we transfer that mindset? Can we get that willpower into people? Guys, the only thing that I know is how to keep going. That's all I know. I don't know how stuff gets figured out. I don't know that it's how it's going to happen. I just know this. It's going to happen. Because I'm going to will it into existence. I'm not going to stop. I used to be that guy. I used to be the quitter. I'm not that guy anymore. I don't want to be that guy. I know what kind of life that guy lives. You know what kind of person life she lives. You know what kind of life that couple lives. I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to be a leader. And so what is it all about? It's all about willpower. So we finished that appointment, conference call with Anna. I'm texting back and forth. I just showed Bruno and his team all my texted clients. Yes, call my mom. Hey, here's my father-in-law. Hey, I'm going to refer you to this. Hey, I'm interested in a policy. Why? Because I'm planting seeds. I'm a farmer and I'm planting seeds. That's all I'm doing. You know, we all wish and we're all grateful that we have a wartime leader. People say, what's a wartime leader? Like Patrick Bet-David. We're all grateful that we have a wartime leader like Patrick Bet-David that's driving right now harder than he's ever driven, getting better than he's ever been, reading more and more books than he's ever read, always improving himself. That's who I wanted to be. And I wonder, are you a wartime leader? Are you the person during war that people can count on? Are you communicating with your team? Are you leading your team? Today we did 4 policies today, 6, 7 appointments today, wrote 4,800 points today, right? Props to Deanna on originating that, Sonique for originating that, Beverly for recruiting Sonique, Beverly for recruiting Carol, all because I prospected somebody in a coffee shop and they gave me a number and I called and I followed up for 2 years. This business is really simple, guys. This business is so simple. It's talk to a lot of people, build good relationships, and try to help people. Right? But are you that leader? Are you that wartime leader right now? Are you proud of the way that you're showing up in this crisis for your family? Are you proud of the way that you're leading your team? Are you proud of your personal example? Do you have that all-in closer killer mentality? If you don't, you got to go get that mentality. You got to go, man, let's do it now. Nick asked a question. He says, what do you tell people that they are telling you, because of coronavirus, they want to do this? I said, Corona was 2 weeks ago, Corona got started. I said, what was the reason before Corona? What was that other? Everybody always has a coronavirus. And if it's not coronavirus, it's a summer, it's a month, it's a holiday, it's an excuse, right? So teaching that mindset to people. But are you that closer? We're going through how to close. Today, Jose's asking questions. How do you have a conversation with somebody that's a PNCH and working for Mercury? How do you have these recruiting conversations with people? They're learning how to close. They're getting on an Elite 8 conference call every single Wednesday at 8 a.m. If you're not leveraging it, you're not on the call. You're missing out on mentorship, right? You're missing out on mentorship. Guys, this is the time for you to go become mentally tough. This is all about willpower right now. This is telling us a lot about who you are. And when people are like, well, people just don't want it. People just don't want it. I don't believe you. Here's what I believe. You're not talking to enough people. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. You're not talking to enough people. That's it. There's no other question about it. You can't tell me you sent 100, 200 messages today. And those you guys that did, you're the one that's closing today. You're the one hitting MD. You're the Natasha Blair, baby. You're the Nick and Caitlin. You're the Nico and Kelly. You're the Fred and Christy. You're the Ernie and Sharon. You're the Alan and Alicia. You're the Cindy Kobos. You're the Elvis Okafor. You're the Alani. You're the Effie. You're the Bruno Castillo. You're that person. You're the Blessing Kajemba. You're the Elvis Okafor. Man, are you a wartime leader? Are you a wartime leader? Do you have the willpower? And are you showing that right now? And if you're not, you got a few more days before this month changes. And for history, you could say, if you change, you could say, man, my best month where I got my most directs, where I qualified and I got 5 directs in 7-8 days, 5 directs. Man, I got 5 directs in 6 days and qualified for Train the Trainer. I never got 5 directs in a month and I did 5 directs in 6 days. Are you kidding me right now? Man, I qualified for FA. I did my 7-7. I wasn't even planning on doing that. But you know what? You got to take advantage of timing like this right now. You got to take advantage of timing like this right now. It's a crisis. I get it. Take care of your family. Be safe. But man, you got to take advantage of timing like this right now. What if you maxed out? What if you did that? What would that do for your identity? How would you feel about yourself? We'll find out who those people are. Who goes and qualifies for Train the Trainers and gets their 5 directs? Who goes and qualifies for FA and does 7-7? Who goes and qualifies for director? Who hits MD? Who hits a senior promotion this month? Who's in the top 5 personal recruiters, top 5 personal producers, top 5 MD base shop, top 5 MD base shop production? Who hits GEB this month? Who hits GEB 2 and gets to bring elite people, elite qualifiers? Oh, we did another appointment for Sylvia today too. That was another appointment, annuity appointment. Great job, Sylvia. Right? Who's getting it right now? I'm in the game. I hope you're in the game. I know some of our leaders are in the game. I don't know all of our leaders. I know Lorenzo Godinez got 3 directs last week, baby. I know he did $240,000 rollover today. I know Richard Cardenow's got 4 base recruits and he's got some new studs on his team. I know a lot of good things are happening for people that are working. It's not luck. God blesses those that work. And I hope that's you. Take care, everybody. God bless you.